Hey, I'm Scott, and I am an American in Bangkok. The Thailand of old is long, long gone. There was a time when all travelers wanted to visit Thailand, and coming to the country was a rite of passage. When tourists visited, the vast majority, including myself, believed they had found paradise. The exotic culture, beautiful beaches, spectacular mountains and jungle, wonderful, smiling locals, and demure, alluring, and attractive women were hard to resist. There are still a few who believe Thailand is paradise. However, it is easy to see Thailand as paradise when only looking at it from the perspective of a person who comes to the country, sees, and does what they want to do, and then leaves. Sort of like loving a friend's kid but not wanting your own. Kids are great as long as they're someone else's and you get to go home when you're tired of them. So it is easy to think of Thailand as paradise in the short term. Visit as a tourist and the country can and often does deliver everything a person could hope for while on vacation. However, visiting for a few weeks or staying a short term for a few months is much different from moving to the country permanently. The issues a person faces when moving to Thailand permanently, whether as an English teacher, business owner, retiree, or whatever, are far greater than the issues faced by someone who comes to Thailand for 2 weeks or 2 months to take in the culture, eat Thai food to their heart's content, get drunk, and chase the opposite sex. Many years ago, towards the beginning of when I first started my YouTube channel, I said Thailand was changing. I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but I felt it was changing. Hardcore Thailand fans denounced my comments as nonsense. Prices haven't changed in years and Thailand is still paradise. Everything is the same, nothing has changed, they said. Thailand has been going in the wrong direction for several years. This has been a slow brew, intangible at first, but as time passed, it became more and more apparent. The tourism market has become oversaturated, beaches polluted, taxis and touts a little ruder and more aggressive, and Thais in the tourist areas slightly more jaded and money hungry. Although the it factor is still here, some of the shine is gone. Like a brand new car driven hard without the tender, loving care it deserves. 20 to 30 years ago, coming to Thailand meant minimal hassle, maximum fun. Even before COVID, both as a tourist and retiree destination, Thailand has been on a slow downward trajectory. Instead of a minimum hassle and maximum fun, we started to see more and more hassles, more rules. What we are seeing now is maximum hassle and minimum enjoyment. Maybe COVID has pushed Thailand down the hill, so to speak, and once the situation is gone, everything will get better again. But where is the incentive to come to Thailand now as opposed to other countries? A 10-year visa for millionaire investors? What makes Thailand so much better than any other destination? In the past, Thai people more than made up for the quirks and irritations the government provided. It was easy for tourists to visit Thailand and almost as easy for foreigners to make Thailand their home. I don't mean to be harsh, but there's a great big world out there and Thailand has plenty of competition. Thailand was once a fantastic value. Now, aside from great hotel prices and inexpensive food, it's a good value. Tourists will eventually come back and retirees will still come here. But make no mistake, Thailand as it was prior to this virus is done and will stay done, both as a tourist and retirement destination. Plenty of other countries as good or better where it is easier to move and where those who make the move are treated better by the government. Even before the COVID came into the picture, the old Thailand was done and gone. If you were here 20, 30, 40 years ago, you know what I mean. Now, with COVID and all the changes it's brought, Thailand faces a hard road to hoe, even once we see the return of semi-normal. And who knows when this will be. Thailand will never be the Thailand of old. Times change, this happens everywhere. The world is a different place now, and if Thailand is to have any chance of competing with other expat and tourist destinations, they're going to have to find a way to do better. Again, where is the incentive for expats to come to Thailand now as opposed to other countries? Smart expats do their due diligence before moving to a new country. As Phuket and Samui try in vain to entice foreign tourists, the rest of the country suffers. Not a single Thai person I have spoken with in the past few weeks believes the government is doing a good job. Many have openly admitted they are ashamed of their leadership, and the tension is palpable. Thailand is a powder keg, complete with an increasing number of hardcore protesters calling for the ousting of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope so, for the sake of all good, hardworking Thai people. Maybe once there's a change in the government, new leadership, new blood, maybe then the country has a chance. Maybe after everyone is vaccinated and the country is fully opened, people will get back to work and the COVID will be but a bad memory. I have my doubts, though, call me pessimistic, until proven otherwise. I'd highly recommend researching other places to retire. Thailand part-time? Maybe. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. At the very least, current and future COVID policies need to be reviewed and revised in a more logical manner. Learning to live with COVID seems much more logical than attempting to completely eradicate it. So stop shooting for the millionaires and billionaires. All tourists and expats matter. Provide value to everyone interested in moving to Thailand and make it a simple process instead of a headache. Most expats I know are of the opinion the Thai government only wants their money, which is understandable. But what do tourists and expats get for their money? For many, allowing them to stay, albeit for some tediously, is not enough. Revise the immigration laws. Make it easier for tourists and expats to stay. Make a visa available to those over a certain age, say 40, whereby they pay 30,000 baht, approximately $1,000, for, say, a 3-year visa. Have them show health insurance. End of story. One thing is certain. There are other places for expats to live and other places for tourists to visit. And post-COVID competition for their funds will be stiff. So what do you think about where Thailand will be in the future? Will the country ever become the destination it once was, or has that ship sailed? Please let me know what you think in the comments. Click like, subscribe, and until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo cher kan mai. That's good luck, and see you later.